Wow.
Hey everybody, it's Drewberry here. So I've made a custom mini set. I want to preface that this is not real. This is not something that's coming to Marvel Snap. I just watched the season 3 of The Boys and I really liked it. I'm a huge fan of the show. I'm a huge fan of Marvel Snap. So I thought, why don't I put them together and see what Team 7 and The Boys characters would look like if they were Marvel Snap cards. So I got 4 cards for you, 2 locations, and I kind of try to put a theme on it, similar to how Snap seems to be kind of like doing the season rollouts. This is kind of a Vought invasion. That's what I'm calling it. It's like my new season rollout, a mini set, right? So the background to this is Peter Parker, when he was working with Doctor Strange, he accidentally opened the multiverse, and all of a sudden, not only those villains that he conjured up came to his universe, but also Team 7 and the Boys characters have arrived. They actually slipped through. The focus keyword here is winning and losing. So there's actually a few cards in Marvel Snap where it's not per se a keyword like move, destroy, discard is, but they have certain conditions that are met if you're winning or losing a location. So an example is Adam Warlock. If you're winning the location, he's going to draw you an extra card at the start of every turn or the end of every turn. But regardless, that's what he does. And I thought that's really cool, and they should use that more in their games. Some locations do that as well, but I think there should be more cards with that. So that's kind of the focus here, and the reason I'm tying this to The Boys is I think there's just a lot of losers in The Boys, the characters themselves, and then people who think they're winners. So I just thought, oh, okay, that would be kind of fun tie-in. So to start it off, we've got Homelander. Of course, Homelander, the most powerful character in The Boys universe, at least that we've seen so far, right? So when I was thinking about this card, I wanted to really, all these cards for that matter, is I really wanted to tie in their personalities with their card effects and their strength. So Homelander being the strongest card there is, I gave him 30 power, and he only costs 5 energy, okay? I know, that's crazy, but we'll get there. And then also, one thing to know about Homelander is he doesn't care about anyone else. Really, he doesn't. He's total... You know what, okay? So I really wanted to tie that in somehow, and what I came up with was his effect would be can only be played if you're losing all 3 locations. You are entirely losing the game. Remember, without any energy shenanigans, this is a turn 5 play. Okay? So he really doesn't care about anyone. He doesn't care if you're losing the game. He's just going to show up and win his location, and that's all he's going to do. Now keep in mind, you have to win 2 locations to win a game in Marvel Snap. So you can't just play Homelander because he's 30 power. There's a good chance he'll win you that location. You can't just play him and ride off in the sunset. You have to have a turn 6 play that you're banking the entire match on if you build a deck around this card. So yes, 30 power is insane, but the conditions here are really difficult to meet. Let's also not forget that losing, at least the keyword that I'm going with, does not mean winning, obviously, but it also doesn't mean a tie. So you have to actively be losing all 3 locations, okay? That's actually a little bit tricky. Your opponent might just focus 2, let 1 just be 0-0, and then you have to find a way to lose that location. So some synergistic cards here, as I was thinking, the Hood. The Hood is -2. Right? He'll stay on your board. So you actually can use that early on just to kind of set up your win condition later on of dropping Homelander. And then another synergistic card is Taskmaster. And Taskmaster takes, what he does is, I think it's on reveal, you're going to get the same power level of the last card you played. So that would be 2 30-30s on 2 locations, and hopefully you win. And I still even think that this combination is pretty balanced because 1, you have to draw all 3 of those cards, or at least 2 of them. And 2 is that you have to hope that your opponent can't beat 30 power. In Marvel Snap, that's like a doable thing. Like people do that often, beating 30 power. One of the quests is get over 20 power and win a location. Like, it's not that crazy to have more than 30 power. And with Homelander, you're banking 30. Like, there's very odd scenarios where you're going to have extra cards supporting him in those locations, right? So yeah, I think this was a pretty cool card. I hope I captured the flavor here. Let me know what you think about him. And I was thinking about like an animation for this, and I thought it would be really cool because he's so full of himself that Homelander would very slowly land to the location. It'd be like this really dramatic animation where he slowly lands. Not too much to ruin the turn timer, but enough to get a giggle. Okay, then moving on to the Deep. So you're probably looking at this card and be like, this isn't the guy from the from the show that I recall. Well, I took all these images, by the way, from the original comics. In the original comic, the Deep looks like this. He doesn't look like the character he does in the show, which caught me off guard a little bit. I haven't read the comics, but here we are. So the Deep in the show, the reason that what I wanted to go with here is he's kind of a total suck. He just wants to be on the winning side all the time. He's always just sucking up to Homelander. He's just always nervous. He's also a little bit creepy, but I didn't use that. I was just going more of like he wants to be Homelander's right-hand man. He'll do anything for that position. So he's a 2-cost 5 power, so actually a premium stat. But his ability reads ongoing, move each turn to a winning location. So he's kind of a win more card. You're already winning the location, he's going to move and give you plus 5 power. If the location's full, he's not going to move. When you play him and you're not winning any locations, he's not going to move. But let's say you play a stronger card and it's all by itself, and he's going to move over there. And it'll kind of shoot you in the foot, I think, a couple of times, because maybe you were really hoping that you would keep that power over there, and now it's shifting around, and you can't manage it as well as you'd like. You're a little bit out of control, or your opponent somehow buffs your cards, and then all of a sudden he moves over. Like it might get tricky, and he might move around in a way that you don't want him to, or he might move in a way that you do. So there's a card called Craven. Craven gets plus 2 power when a card moves here. So you could try to really stack that location and get the Deep to move there, and then get a powerful card on the left hand. So let's say Craven on the right, you move Deep over there, and then you get a powerful card on the left, Deep moves back, but then you put another card on the right, Deep moves back over there, and then you can kind of have him dipping around in those different places, buffing Craven along the way. So I thought that would be a good synergistic card. Another synergistic card that I was thinking about for the Deep would be Adam Warlock, because he's a bit of a win more card. So is Adam Warlock. You want to be drawing those cards, like I was saying earlier, if you're winning the location. Well, Deep, if you are winning that location, he's going to jump over there, give you even more of a buffer to get that draw. Doesn't actually help win the location, Adam Warlock, but I thought the two together would help each other achieve their goals. And then in terms of the animation, I was thinking for this one would be he'd kind of just disappear into a pool of little water, and then he'd pop up at another location, and then he'd disappear whenever he's got to move. He just goes in the little water, pops up, in, out. I thought that'd be funny. Kind of like Nightcrawler, except ongoing. Okay, so that's those two, the first two. And then we have these two. So we will start with Starlight. So Starlight, so her ability in the show is that she gets power from other power sources. So if there's like a lot of lights on, she's going to be even more powerful. So what I did was I went with a 4-cost 12 power. Really good premium stats here, right? But her ability is ongoing -4 power for each location you are losing. Okay, so at her worst, she's going to be a 4-cost 4, right? -8, and hopefully, well, I guess technically at her worst, she's a 4-cost 0, but hopefully you're winning one location, okay? So I should rephrase that. At her worst, she's 4-0. But she has the potential to be a 12 for 4. And there's a few ways we can get around this. A card like 0. 0 removes the ability of the next card you're about to play. So you're just guaranteed a 4-12. That's really good, right? I could have done it the other way, where it was ongoing +4 power for each location you were winning, and then she'd be a 4-0 default, something like that. But I actually like this better because of the synergy with 0. And then I was also thinking with Omega Red. So Omega Red gives +3 power to all other locations. If you have +10 power, you're winning by 10 power at a certain location. So she's super buffed, he buffs the rest, and then together they're like really powerful, right? In terms of animation, I was thinking that it it would be like this. She'd be glowing. She'd have this like aura around her. And for each location that you're winning, so like let's say it's at 3, you're winning all 3 locations. She's glowing really brightly, and then 2, she'd dim down. 1, dim down. 0, she'd have no glow. Thought that'd be pretty cool. Okay, and then we got Billy Butcher. So Billy Butcher is chaotic in the show. He's hilarious, and he's always doing the craziest things. So I really wanted to capture that in his card. So he's a 4 cost, similar to Starlight, but he's only 2 power, so the complete opposite. He's not premium stats at all. It's pretty pathetic stats. And his on reveal is if you're winning this location, destroy your deck. That's not good. But wait, if you are losing this location, destroy your opponents. Oh, okay. Now, that's not even that great, because let's say in a perfect world, just regular draw, you're denying 2 cards. You're really like locking them into their hand, because turn 5 draw, turn 6 draw, if you play them on 4, and you don't have a good power boost, and you're losing that location, so you're probably not doing so great overall. But there's a few other things to consider. 1, America Chavez, Domino, these sorts of cards that you pull on curve, gone, destroyed. And then also, Psylocke. Psylocke gives you +1 energy. If you can get this out on 3, that's an extra card. You burn their deck on turn 3. They have nothing left. They're relying on their hand for the rest of the game, whereas you have your entire deck. Again, you have to be actively losing the location to get the positive benefit from him. I don't actually know if there would be a positive benefit to winning the location and destroying your own deck. There could be cards later down the line, like if you have no cards in your deck, this effect happens. That'd be really cool. And then this would synergize with that. At the moment, I don't think there's anything that really benefits from having no cards. So you're probably trying to lose the location and destroy your opponent's deck. It could be really cool because it's an on reveal. If all of a sudden your opponent is playing first and for whatever reason they allow you to win that location, like they play a negative card on their end, and then you accidentally Billy Butcher reveals and you're actually winning, and then you destroy your deck. You know, there could be a lot of crazy scenarios that come out of this card, and it's just really chaotic. So I really like the way that this one would work. In terms of his animation, I thought, this is a little bit of spoiler, so pause the video if you haven't watched season 3 of The Boys. Stop it right now, I'm going to give you a shot. Okay, so in season 3 of The Boys, he has this like bot juice, I don't know, something V, and he gets superpowers. So I thought it'd be really cool if his card, depending on which deck he would blast, he'd just like quickly eye laser it, and then like a maniacal laugh along with it. That'd be cool animation. So those are my 4 cards. And another synergy that I kind of missed was Black Widow with Billy Butcher. She gives a card to your opponent's hand that doesn't allow them to draw until that card is played, and it's a 0 cost card. But that's just like another delay because she'd be on turn 2 and she kind of delays them again, like just really stopping your opponent from drawing cards. That's what I was thinking. So that is my 4 custom cards of The Boys. I might do another set if people really like this video, so be sure to subscribe and like the video if you found it interesting or you like the cards. I do also have 2 locations for you guys, so let's have a look at those. Because it all has to come together in this mini set. So the first location I have is Vought Laboratory. So on reveal, whoever's winning this location gets +1 power to all cards in their hand. So flavor wise, with The Boys, a lot of the superheroes, they were actually just injected with this like V juice, I don't know what the name is, but to get their superpowers at a young age. So I thought it'd be interesting if we could early on buff your cards. And I wanted to play onto the winning-losing strategy theme of this mini set. So I thought, okay, well, there's not really an on-reveal for locations. Like, not technically. Like, let's think of Central Park, where you get the squirrels. Technically, that is an on-reveal, add a squirrel to each location. But instead, it just reads, add a squirrel to each location. There's no on-reveal tag. But I kind of needed this here because it's on reveal, whoever is winning this location at that time of reveal gets the benefit of +1 power to all cards in their hand. So the idea is play cards on unknown locations, locations that haven't flipped yet. And then you might have the chance of getting that buff. Now, there's too much location variance for this to be a reliable strategy. You're not going to play every game and play all your 1-cost cards on unknown locations, because that could backfire most times. But it could just be fun that that's in there, and then you get +1 power to all the cards in your hand. The only risk with this one is I could see people insta-conceding if their opponent did win this out of sheer luck of the location flipping. But thematically, I just liked it, so I put it in here. Let me know if you think this would be like too toxic for the game. Okay, and then my favorite one, Hero-gasm. End of game, both players win this location. I think this is fascinating. So it becomes a location that you don't care about the power total at all. It becomes now a 2-location race. More chance of a tie, but really remember, ties are broken in Marvel Snap by the power difference, total power difference. So let's say I'm just beelining one location and I'm trying to chop down the power of the other location that my opponent's probably going to win. It becomes more of a race rather than the 2 for 1, you know? Yeah, I just thought this would be really, really fun. Let me know what you think about these locations, these cards, the boys joining Marvel Snap. It'll probably never happen. I don't think it'll ever happen because it's called Marvel Snap, but I think it's fun to just create custom content like this. So definitely subscribe if you're interested in seeing more of this. I'm going to keep doing this probably once a week. It was really fun to make this. I'm going to do all kinds of things. I was thinking about Stranger Things might be another one that I might do next week. We'll see. I'd like to continue the boys because there's some characters like A-Train, Black Noir, even Huey that I could add. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.